Okay, first question that deals with the test is true or false. I need you to answer true or false to the following questions. So in your answer, I need you to put A and then put a true or false. I need you to put a B, true or false. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. So first one, if two angles are supplementary, they add up to 180. I think everybody had a true for that. Supplementary does mean 180. If two angles are vertical angles, they are congruent. That's a true. A hypothesis is a result or an outcome. That one was the tricky one. A hypothesis is the condition. It was the conclusion that's the result or the outcome. So that's why we needed the word conclusion. If two angles are a linear pair, that means they make up a line, a straight angle. So they add up to 180. That was false. Needed a 180. If a line divides a segment into two congruent segments, the line is called a segment bisector. That's true. So this one was the one that really tripped us up. A linear pair has to add up to 180. Keep that in mind for tomorrow. Next question.
Yes, so
erase your boards. I want you to write the following as an if-then statement. You will get your license if you pass the driver's ed. If you pass driver's ed. So just a recap of how to write an if-then statement. Notice how in this statement we see where the word if is. So that's a key word that, wait a second, if that's my if, then if you pass your driver's ed, or if you pass driver's ed, that's going to be my beginning part, then you will get your license. You're going to have a statement tomorrow on your test. It's going to be in a form like this, and you've got to pick out, wait, where's the if? How do I write an if-then statement? And it's similar to this. Next question. Measure of angle CDB in this picture. Measure of angle CDB is 140. Find the measure of angle BDE. Let's really review this one. If we've got CDB being 140, I'm going to put that in the picture. This piece is 140, and I had to pay attention to the picture. There was nothing in my directions that talked about bisecting or anything about congruence or anything. So if this piece is 140, and I noticed the straight angle, that was the key part. I've got a straight angle there or a line. So that's 180. And I had to take away 140. That's where the 40 came from. So this piece was 40. Okay. So next problem. Go ahead and erase your boards if you haven't already. Next problem. Find the complement and the supplement of 70 degrees. Be sure to look in your notes packet to figure out, wait a second, complement and supplement. How did we find these? Complement and supplement of 70 degrees.
So in order for us...
Complement means it's got to add up to 90. Complementary angles add up to 90. So 70 plus what gets you to 90? You could subtract 90 minus 70 to get 20. Or you could guess and check. 70 plus what gets me to 90? And then supplement means they've got to add up to 180. Or supplementary needs to add up to 180. So you could take 70 plus what gets me to 180. Or 180 minus 70 to get me 110. Next question. M is the midpoint of this segment AB. You need to find X. M is the midpoint of segment AB. Find X. Over this. Notice the directions. Directions say midpoint. So these tick marks and these measures are labeling the length from A to M. That's how we know about the whole 180 deal. If I see these tick marks and I'm going from A to M, this is labeling the length. When you see the word directions or the word midpoint in the directions, you're looking at the lengths,
But
not
also,
degrees.
If you're doing 180, we're probably talking about angles. That's right. Like if you're thinking, well, 90 or 180, we're probably talking about angles. And there's no angle there, that's a segment. So it is true that a straight line is 180, but when we're talking about 180 degrees, there's usually an angle involved there somewhere, right?
Yeah, we typically see the degree symbol if we're looking for 180. And in these, I don't have degree symbol. So I had to set these guys equal to each other, set up the line of equality, subtract 3, and divide by 2. Taking 30 divided by 2, that's how we get x to be 15. So the next problem. Name a pair of vertical angles in this picture and name a linear pair. You only need to list one pair of vertical angles and be sure you put an A by it. Put an A by what you think the vertical angles are and put a B by where you think the linear pairs are. We learned this in section 2.4 on your notes. So let's review what it means to be a vertical or a pair of vertical angles, just in case those of you at your seat didn't get it. Vertical angles are across from each other. So there are two options. You could either have angle 2 and angle 3, because those are across from each other, or angle 1 and 4. Notice how many different answers there were for a linear pair. Linear pair needed angles that were right by each other that made a line. Notice how 1 and 2 are connected by this line. Angle 1 and 3 are connected by this line. Angle 3 and 4 connected by this line. Angle 2 and 4 connected on this line. Linear pairs need to be adjacent, and they need to have, or they need to create a line as their whole angle. Next problem. We're looking to find measure of angle GIR. You need to find measure of angle GIR. Let's review this. Notice how in the directions I don't have any keywords. And when I say keywords, anything that deals with those vocabulary words at the beginning of each lesson in our notes packet. I don't see the word bisects. I don't see the word supplementary.
That's what most people did. There was no bisect. So the angles are not the same because we didn't bisect.
So I'm really using this 90 degree. The whole angle is 90 degrees. So since the whole is 90, I have to take away 37, which gets us the 53. Next question. Line AD bisects segment BC. Find the length of BC if BE equals 19. So what I need you to do, you might want to copy down this picture.
I highly suggest you copy it down and label it.
We need to go over directions. First off, line AD bisects segment BC. Line AD bisects segment BC. So that means these two pieces are going to be congruent. Find BC if BE equals 19. So what we were talking about, drawing it in your picture, is this piece is 19. So that automatically means this piece is 19. But when we asked you to trace your finger of what you're trying to find, B to C means I have to take 19 and add it to 19. That's where the 38 came from. You had to add those two pieces together. 19 and 19. I just want to show you what the next problem is. We won't be able to do it, but it's nice to know what's going to be on your test. So I need your ears. The next problem would have been this. I need you to find measure of angle HTS. We're not going to play the game, pass or play, but if you want to try quickly, I'm going to just go over it. You see this picture? I have no vocab words in my directions, so I have to go to the picture. You've got to recognize what's in your picture. In your picture, I don't see a box about 90 degrees, but I do see a straight angle. I see this straight angle. This is a problem where I've got a whole angle being 180 and a part being 140. So if you get a problem like this, you're going to have to take the straight angle and subtract the part to get the other part. This was similar to a previous problem. Answer would have been 40. The last problem, notice the word. It says this ray bisects angle COA. If measure of angle COA is 72, can you find a part, COW? I see the word bisects. When I see the word bisects, that means this part is going to be the same as this part. They tell me COA is 72. This is an example where you have to take the whole and divide it into 2. This is the last one I'm going over. COW was going to be 36. Test and binder check tomorrow.